Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. This is episode 4 of Splendida, and it's the first episode in full video. I'm recording myself. I never done that, to be honest. Well, apart from a long time ago when I was a kid at school. So this is a challenge for me, to say the least. I'm usually very shy in front of the camera, but I decided, what the heck, let's give it a try. Let's do something new. Excuse me. So today, in this episode, I would like to talk about the current situation that we live in this virus time. Call it virus, call it pandemic, call it COVID-19, coronavirus, call it whatever you want. Whether you believe in it or not, we are living in it, and we're having to face something that probably most of us, or a lot of us, have never experienced before, which is like this quarantine, this being in a confined space for long periods of time. Let me tell you something. There's some people that are not coping with it very well, for whatever reasons. Maybe they live in a small space. Maybe there's a few of them living in that small space, and obviously when you get a few people in a very small space, you're gonna get like claustrophobic. You're gonna get like, okay, I had enough of this person. It's too long. Even if you love that person, it might be too long in that confined space. And some other people, they might not mind, this quarantine thing. It's like, yeah, we've got space. Not many people in the house. Even if they are, there's plenty enough for everyone, so it's okay. Some other people, they are enjoying it because they already were and are like socially distancing from other people. Like they were always like that. I'm kind of like one of those people where I don't mind being confined inside. It's fine. I mean, I like being with people, like friends and family, but I don't mind being with a lot of other people, like in the same space, like outside, in the streets. Try and imagine, like, I don't know, the biggest high street you've got in your wherever you live. Imagine it full of people, and it's like, for me, it's like, it feels claustrophobic. I just want to like avoid people. So to me, this is okay. It's fine. We can still come outside, and we can drive. Now you can come to the beach, not particularly like, where the sand is, but you can just come to the beach and go for a walk, go for a jog, do some exercises. The only people that are that can go into the water are the surfers. Don't understand why, but that's how it is around here. And by the way, around here, I'm in Portugal. That's where I live. So what can you do to not make yourself go insane? Because there's a lot of people that after a week, 2 weeks of being confined, they're already like, it's like, I can't deal with this. It's too long. I just want to leave this place. And I say, you know what? There's a lot of many things that you can do to so you can stay sane. Okay? If you've got a family, let's say like you've got your spouse, your partner, whatever that is, and you've got one child, two children, what can you do? It's like, especially if you're still working, if you're one of the lucky ones that are still working from home, remotely, it's not so easy when you're working remotely at home, and then you've got also your kids to take care of. Obviously, kids, they need attention, right? Always, constantly. I don't have kids myself, but I've got kids in the family. I've got a sibling younger than me, so they constantly need attention, interaction. So what can you do? You have to work, and then you also have to pay attention to the kids. Kids are not going to respect your time. It's like when they want attention now. They don't want attention in after 6 o'clock when you finish working. So if you're one of those that works, and you need to be constantly focused on your job, whatever you're doing at home, do try, if you can, depends on the nature of your job, do try to, give the kids some time, even if it's for like 5 minutes. If you do like 5 minutes every hour, try that. Also try the talking to them. Engage with them by talking. And what I mean by talking, it's not the get out of here, don't do that, don't do this. I'm not talking about that. I mean, like, really talk to them, right? Be patient. Laugh with them. You can have them if you can. If you can have them next to you, right? If your job doesn't involve being on the phone the whole time, and what obviously kids are going to make noise, so if you don't mind the noise that they make while you're working, then you can have them next to you or in the same room as you, and just interact with them, so they don't feel like daddy's here or mommy's here, but they're not paying attention to me. And you know how kids are. They're going to get frustrated, they're going to get upset, they're going to throw out tantrums, and it's a difficult situation for everyone, right? So you don't want to get like, you already have like a difficult situation in this quarantine, and then you've got having to work from home, and then you've got your kids, and you might have the kids in the same room as you, right? So that it's probably not the best combination of things. You're gonna make yourself insane, your kids as well, probably your partner, and it's not ideal. So try and engage with them, try and talk to them as you would talk to anyone, or as you would talk to them on a normal day. And then if you really can't have them, if you really need your space due to the nature of your work or due to the way that you work yourself, if you can't have them in your space, then try to have like, well, obviously you need to be organized yourself if you aren't already. Every hour for like 5-10 minutes, try to have a break with your kids, okay? Literally, like, physically leave the room, leave your desk, and go in it and play with your kids if they are playing. Interact with them, read to them, just play with their toys, play hide and seek if you can, if you got space for it, that kind of thing. But always talk to them, always engage, okay? And then obviously when you finish your work, when it's time to, okay, I've done everything that I need to do, I can just fully concentrate on my family, then you do that. Then it's not going to be, hopefully it's not going to be so stressful, because then you're going to have to catch up with a whole day of not playing with them or not interacting with them. And then you yourself are already tired from working, and then you're going to feel more tired because you're going to have to interact with them, and you're going to have to focus on the playing with them, on interacting with them. So I think, but it's only my opinion, obviously, like, you people out there, they've got kids and they've got a job, you might think differently. You might think like, you know what, it's easier said than done. I was like, I get that, obviously. It's just an opinion. Take it as just that, just an opinion. Now, what do you do if you have the kids but you don't have a job anymore, unfortunately? Many people are in that situation, well, obviously you're gonna have a lot more time with your kids, and besides sending CVs, if that's what you're doing, if that's what you can do, sending your CVs, applying for jobs, you can still interact with them, and it's gonna take a lot more of your imagination. So you need, I don't know, things that you can do. Read to them, whatever. Read to them, whether it's like those colorful books that kids have nowadays, whether it's something like a proper book, read it to them. It doesn't matter. Read to them. Try and make it interesting for them so they can engage with you, with the story. Obviously, playing hide and seek, all sorts of games, laugh. It's important in this. Well, it's always important to laugh anyway. But I know, laugh a lot, try and make jokes. Not just watch TV. I think there's a lot of parents that would just relegate kids to the TV corner, and obviously kids they love that. Why? Because TV is there, is colorful, is the noises, is the tones of the voices in the characters, whether especially if they're watching cartoons, and they love that. And I think a lot of parents, they just do not want to deal with the kids that way, so they use the TV as like a digital nanny, and I don't think that's right. I think you should, I mean, if they are your kids, you want to interact with them, you have to. They have to grow into proper is probably not the right word, but like human beings that can think for themselves, that can solve things by themselves, or and then TV is not going to do that. It's just gonna make them kind of like into zombies, and if you do that like from when they wake up until they go to bed, that's all they want. And then obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult in life for them to concentrate and to do any sort of task. It's going to take a lot of their energy, because they're not used to it. So force them in a nice way to do things. If they've got plenty of toys, like these building blocks or Legos or whatever, If they got dolls, play with them. These make-believe stories with dolls or whatever. Do that. What else can you do? If you can go outside, if you got an outdoors space, trying to spend a lot of time in there. If you've got a garden, or try and get them connected to nature as much as possible. Plants, flowers, even the simplest grass can be something amazing for a child. What else can you do? Let them interact with, really let them get their hands dirty, literally, like have their hands on soil, so they can feel the soil, so they can feel the grass. If there's like insects around, like ladybugs and ants and flies, whatever, like let them touch it, let them feel what is this thing, and then you educate them. You tell them like, oh, this is a name of the bug, name of the insect. This grass is called this, if you know the name of the grass. There's so many things. If you've got an outdoor space, use it, but use it wisely. Try and get them interested in things, and that way they're going to get less stressful, you're going to get less stressful. It's kind of like in a meditative state. A meditation doesn't have to be like you're sitting cross-legged on a sofa, on the bed, on the floor, and you go for like half an hour, 1 hour. Doesn't have to be. If it's relaxing to you, if it's relaxing to the kids, that's meditation right there. There's so many things you can do, like using the space outside. Like if you've got the luxury to own trees, and let the kids climb the trees. I used to do that when I was a kid. My youngest cousins, my sibling, my sister, we used to climb trees, and my friends, we were kids. That's what kids do. We want to explore, so let your kids explore outside a little bit. And if you're one of the lucky ones that has access to beach, to the woods, and if they're open, if you're allowed to go in there, let them explore, let them get dirty, literally, like let them get dirty, play in the water, or play with the soil, grass with the flowers. Let them do it, let them explore. They're going to be tired after doing that for either the whole day or a few hours. They're going to be tired, and when they're tired, then they're going to feel like more relaxed, and then you're going to feel more relaxed. They're going to sleep better, you're going to sleep better. So these are some of the things that you can do when you've got kids in this situation. What if you don't have kids, whether you've got a job or you don't? Well, it might be easier for you because you don't have kids, whether you are alone, so whether you're single or whether you're not, you've got a partner and you're living together. There's plenty of things that you can do. One of the things that you should avoid at all costs is TV. I know it's too easy, but if you're turning on a TV and if you're listening and watching the same things every single day, your brain is just going to turn into mush. Do you know what I mean? Like when mashed potatoes or mushed peas, that it feels like your brain is like cooking inside. You don't want that. You want for your brain to be stimulated, whether you actually doing something active, like physically active, or you're just relaxing. You want your brain to be stimulated in this time. So what can you do? Take the TV off. Okay, that's out of the equation. No TV. And if you have to watch TV, watch something that is useful. You know, a documentary. But a documentary about something, well, it's very subjective, isn't it? There's something interesting. What is interesting to you might not be interesting to me, and vice versa. I get that. But, you know, try and even if it's something that, like, you don't like, try and watch that if possible. And see if you can understand it. You know, it will probably try and force you to understand, to have like another point of view, or that person's or people's point of view. You can do that, sure. I would avoid it preferably, but if that's what you want to do, you can do it. But like when watching TV, you can choose things that are going to make you think, rather than these soapies or really like these, what are they called, the you know, those reality shows, you know, which is, it's really not reality, it's all, you know, scripted. You all know that. So yeah, remove the TV, right? Leave it off. What else can you do? Reading books. You can. Surely almost everyone has got like books in the house, you know, whatever they are. Just read. Even if you don't understand what's in there. Even if you got a book on, I don't know, politics, whatever, I don't know, something that you really are not interested, just read. You never know, you might find something there, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, and you want to know more about it. You never know. Just read. Listening to music, sure, obviously. There's, you've got radios, you know, radio stations are still working. If you don't want to listen to radio, obviously you've got, you know, you go on YouTube, there's playlists and playlists and playlists. You can do that, or you've got your own MP3. I still own an MP3. Love it. Just use that with your own songs, or you've got all the songs on a computer, on a tablet, on your phone. Just do that. What else can I do? Meditating. Like I said, if you want to be cross-legged on the floor, on the sofa, or even on the bed, you can do that. If you want to do it lying down, you can do that, even on the floor. If you don't want to meditate because you think it's boring, there's other ways to meditate, like I said before. For example, you can draw. Just draw. Whatever, you know, like, and you might say like, oh, I'm not good with drawing. I never was with it. You know, I draw like a child. So what? No one has to see that. You know, it's just for you. You can just draw whatever comes to you. If you want to see if you still have any skills in drawing, you can do that, just for a laugh, right? If you don't like drawing, you can do coloring. You know, I've got a mandala book. It's quite thick. It's like this, but the book is not that big. It's like this big, this thick, and it's just like mandalas, all sorts of mandalas. Now, and there's like description of what the mandala is. I don't necessarily understand what a mandala is or does, but you can color it in the book. But I was like, well, I don't want to. It's not ruin the book, because like who knows, maybe one day I would like to pass that book to a family member or friends or even a stranger. So I actually copied a lot of the pages with different mandalas. So I was like, well, I can copy, let's say, like 5 of each mandala, right? And then I can color each one with different colors. I can draw, I can color in just one color or 2, or use my imagination. So if you got an access to a printer, if you got a printer at home, or obviously you've got the sheets, you can print several mandalas off. Like if you don't have the book, you've got the internet, and it was like, oh, okay, let me just print this off, make copies, and color. So I've got that. And the thing what coloring does is it forces you to focus. Why do you think kids at school they color and they draw, right? Because like it forces them to focus and allows them to be somewhat creative. That's why it's important for kids to do a lot of drawing and coloring, because it gives room for their creativity to be explored and to be amplified, and go like, right. And kids' imagination is out there. We were all like that once, right, when we were kids. So allow yourself to go back to that time, to be a kid and draw and color. It's amazing. And then by the end of it, an hour might have passed, 2 hours might have passed, and you're like, oh, I'll do it again tomorrow. That's another example. What it's going to do, obviously, staying healthy is very important at this time. If you can't go outside very often, if you can, do some exercises at home. It doesn't have to be anything that make you sweat a lot. It could be as simple as some sit-ups if you can. You can use something to replace dumbbells, for example, as weights. I don't know, a packet of rice, some pasta, whatever, a bucket full of water or full of things inside, a chair. You can try and lift it up a few times, stretch, when you wake up, you stretch. Why not stretching throughout the day? Just stretch, just move your arms up and down, to the sides. You can do that, all sorts of things. Walk, if you can walk. I don't know. There's a lot of things. Just get inventive, get creative with the things that you've got inside. You've got. We all have a lot of stuff, right? Most of us have a lot of stuff. So just use those things. Different weights. Something that is light, something that is like medium weight, not too heavy, and something that is quite heavy. Try and lift that. If you do that, like that kind of exercise every single day, you're going to be better. Even if it's just like a tiny bit, you might not see a difference, but your body will thank you for it, because like you're actually moving, you're actually doing something, rather than just sitting on the sofa or laying on the sofa for the whole day, and then you go to bed and your muscles will be like, well, like not being used that much. So try and do that. Like over here, for example, I can see people passing by and they're running. Young people, middle-aged people, if you want to call them that. I don't like that term, middle-aged. So yeah, they're running, they're just walking, they're enjoying the sun, if there's sun. Yesterday I was here, right? Because I run every other day, so I'm gonna come to the beach and I'm gonna run tomorrow. And it was pouring cats and dogs, literally like pouring so much rain, so much. I was the only one outside running. And there were people like getting shelter from the rain, right? And I felt like a complete idiot, but I was like, you know what? I don't care. It's like, I really want to do this. And I was like, as soon as I got out of the car, I was soaking wet in 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds. And I ran, for like 10, 15 minutes, non-stop. And then it cleared. And then the rain stopped. And I was like, it's awesome. Trying to do something that you've never done before, or that you wouldn't do, or you haven't done in a long time. If you can, come outside, why not? Even if it's bad weather, do it. Because there's not gonna be many people around, so there's not gonna be many eyes. If you're concerned about people are watching me, I don't like that, you can do that. Obviously when the weather is nicer, like today, people are outside, and today I thought I was gonna see not many people here, and it's just full of people. It didn't rain today. I mean, it's very, very cloudy, like incredibly cloudy, but it's not raining, so everyone is outside. So you can do these things. You just have to be inventive. If you're stuck inside, just be inventive. Do not let yourself be dragged down in negativity. That's another thing you can do. For example, you can just write like a diary, and you can write all the things that you are thankful for, like a gratitude journal or diary. You can do that. You say like, I am thankful for my life. I am thankful for my house. I am thankful for having food. I am thankful for having a partner, or I'm thankful for being single. And if you do, like, let's say, like at least 10 of those things, 10 things to be thankful for every single day, and make yourself a list of the things that you want to do every single day. For example, you say like, okay, this week, what would I like to do? And you stick to those things. And then maybe while you're doing these things, you might have other ideas. It was like, oh, it would be nice to do this. And you can write it down so you don't forget. And it's like, okay, maybe I can do it today, or I'll do it tomorrow, or any other day, There you go. That's one of the things. Or if you really like videos and spending your time on the internet, obviously people are at home, they can do that whenever they want. Watch like interesting videos. For example, I don't know. If you're the kind of like spiritual person that is dealing with, the ascension, and there's something for another episode. Excuse me. My throat is a bit dry. You can watch these videos of people going through the ascension, the awakening, or whatever people are calling it, and see how people are dealing with it these days, and how they're dealing it with this pandemic and the quarantine, rather than just look for news about the quarantine, and because they're not going to be good news at all. That like on TV and on the internet, there's nothing positive being told about this pandemic, about this situation. So try and connect, like, I don't know, talk to yourself. I do it. Really, talk to yourself. Kids, do that. Adults, you can do that. Whether you talk to to yourself, like in your head or out loud, right, like a normal person, nobody is going to think that you're crazy. If you're living by yourself, there's no one there. Or even if there is, talk to yourself, whisper, or just mentally, whether you're in the shower or in the bathroom, in the toilet, whatever. Talk to yourself. You know, it's important. That doesn't mean that you're going insane. Well, if I start talking to myself and my partner hears that, they're going to think I'm crazy. I was like, no one is crazy. Okay? It's actually quite sane thing to do, to talk to yourself. And if you talk to yourself in good terms, guess what? You're actually bettering yourself, you know? That's it. You know, it's only a good thing. It's like you're thinking good words about yourself. It's only going to be a good thing for you. Or if you're talking good words or good things about other people, you still are, that still is a good thing for you, because it's your body making those words, those sounds. Or if you're thinking it, well, you're thinking to yourself, who's going to benefit from it? Obviously the people that you're talking about and you, because it's in your head, right? So there's nothing to lose. You've got nothing to lose there, you know. You've got a lot to gain. So try and do that. So there's a lot of things that you can do to make yourself not insane, okay? To calm yourself a little bit during this time. Just be patient, hang on in there, okay? It's not the end of the world, okay? There's a lot of that going on, you know, like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, you know, like, it's not. It never is, it never will be, okay? Just be creative, okay? Be imaginative. Like, just imagine or think like, okay, what would a child do? A child wants to be entertained. A child wants to create things and stories, and do that. If you're good at writing, for example, you can write a book. I thought of it. I thought about it, to be honest. And yesterday, I told my partner what I would like to write about, which has been on my mind for months, maybe a couple of years. I never told her. Yeah, we've been together for a few years. I never told her. It's always been here. And I was like, well, only because like she is thinking of writing a book. I was like, well, let me tell you something. Yeah, I've been thinking about writing a book, and it would be about this, blah blah. And she was like, oh, that's actually very interesting. And I was like, you think so? I was like, yeah, you should do it. And I'm like, yeah. It's just like, you know, getting in front of the computer and write, you know, because I've got a general idea of what I would talk about, but obviously it needs a lot of detail, and I've never done anything like that before. But there you go, doing something that you've never done before, doing something that forces your brain to think of creative things. This is an amazing machine here. It's a living thing. Use it. Don't just waste it on reality shows and TVs and soapies, and that's not going to help your brain. That's not going to help you. Okay? So writing a book. Imagine that you're an established writer. If you want to pretend you're a writer and you're coming up with your next bestseller, okay? And just write. even if you think like, well, I don't want to publish this, I'm not going to do anything with this, it's fine. It's there on your computer, you can store it, you can save it, and it's just there if you want it to be. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to show it to anyone. So like, no, this is for myself. It's for my own, like, no, I don't like the word therapy, but it's just like so I can be creative. So that my mind, my brain, can evolve a little bit. Okay, yeah, maybe. So it can be active, a lot more active. Do it. If you don't want anyone to see what you wrote, read, they don't have to. That's fine. It's like, no, it's mine. That's it. Right? So there's a lot of things that you can do during these testing times. Just go ahead and do it. Don't wait for another day. Like, use these days that you're at home to do something productive, something meaningful. Okay, even if it's not meaningful for other people, that doesn't matter. You're not doing it for them, you're doing it for you. It's important for you to be sane, to be centered, and just use this time, okay, to learn a little bit about yourself, and you know what, you might find out something that you didn't know about yourself. That's what, like, a lot of people are doing it. Like, they're going inside. Okay, they're not looking outside for answers. They're going inside. It's like, what can I do? What am I capable of doing? Creatively. And whether they do it through meditation, whether they do it through writing, drawing, creating music, there you go. If you're not, you can try and learn music, for example. If you've always wanted to do it and you've never done it, you can do that. Try to understand music. There's all sorts of what's the word? There's all sorts of ways that you can engage with music. You can watch documentaries on music, on a particular culture, how does a particular culture deals with music, and things like that. So just, there's all sorts of things that you can do. Don't be afraid. Don't let yourself get dragged down by this negativity with the pandemic, with the virus, whatever that it is. Whether you believe in it or not, don't let yourself. It's too easy for us to be consumed by negativity, because, like, it's a lot easier to talk about negative things than positive things. Everybody complains about something. Oh my God, I can't go out. Oh my God, I can't do this. Oh my God, I have to wear a mask. Oh my God, I have to wear gloves. Oh my God, I have to wait in line in a queue. There's all sorts of things that you can do. So just don't be so negative all the time. Appreciate what's out there, and it's not all negative. Okay, sorry, I'm just rambling on here, but like, it really isn't. And it's not that difficult to be, or to create and be in that positive state. It's not. Get yourself moving, even indoors. Get yourself creative. Get yourself sane. That's important. So when things slowly start to get more normal, then you have learned a little bit more about yourself, hopefully, and you are willing to take on the world, basically. you are ready to explore maybe other activities, maybe other things. Maybe it's like, you know what? Maybe this is not the right job for me. I learned something about jobs and societies and all that. This is not for me. I actually would like to do something else. I would actually like to have my own company. You can do that, you know. So don't get stuck. Don't use this time as an excuse to not do anything. Do something. Just be active as much as you can, both physically and mentally. Be active. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this, and we'll talk again soon in the next episode. I have no idea what it's going to be, but yeah, be sane, okay, be safe, and nothing but love to you. Thank you. I'll see you next time.